said, why are they mentioning?
If you forget, I'm going to laugh at you.
Right in the middle.
It's right here. This is going to be tricky again. I'm not saying it to be funny or dramatic, but it's either here or it's there. Did one of you guys watch someone get shot in the head?
A long time ago, yes.
Let's be clear. I'm not talking about a water pistol.
No.
I'm not, listen, with all respect, hear me out, okay? Did you witness a murder, or did you see someone take their own life?
Murder.
And you saw it happen, did you
Yes.
not? That's right. That story is being told to me through the female, which I'm taking to be the mother figure connected to you.
Okay.
I don't mean to point. Correct?
Well, can I say something?
Of course.
It was not a family member that I saw.
Say it again?
It was not a family member that I saw get killed.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
You ask the average person in this room,
Okay.
just watch this. How many people in this room stood there and watched someone get murdered right in front of them? Raise your hand. Come on, get them up. It's very common, isn't it? Who's the only person I was drawn to that happens to recognize that exact story? That's how readings work. So they're bringing something that would, what's your first name again?
Alice.
That would bring something to Allison. Alice, is it Alice?
Alice, yeah.
Alice. Alice?
Yeah.
It would bring something to Miss Alice that would be so unique. They would say, mention this, it'll get her attention. That's what happened to you. Same thing. Understand?
Yeah.
So if you were standing there, whether you were working, standing on a street corner, the cops came up and interviewed you afterwards, whatever the case might be, and you're telling me, to be factual, you saw a person put a firearm against another person and pop him.
Yes.
That's all I want. That story is being told to me by someone who's trying to get your attention through that story.
Okay.
Got that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's a feeling of a mother figure connected to me here.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes.
Who had the twins?
My sister.
I have none in my family. I know people have twins. Did one twin pass?
No.
Who had the twin that died in the tummy?
I'm not familiar with that.
Oh, you are. Take a second. Someone had a twin that died in the belly.
I don't know.
Fair enough, but there's a reference to twins. They're also showing me July 4th. Someone was either born on July 4th, someone died on July 4th.
I can't think of anybody offhand, but it's possible.
They wouldn't take me down to it's either here or here.
Anybody?
Who's July 4th?
You know somebody?
Born on July 4th, died on July 4th.
Oh, July 5th.
Okay, within 24 hours.
Yeah.
Well, born on July 5th.
Okay. They've crossed over?
No,
They're still present. One of your children, your husband, somebody?
my mother.
With all respect. So if your mother's born on July 5th, you ever celebrate her birthday on a July 4th party?
All the time.
That's all I'm asking. I'm not asking if you put the flag out on our country, which you should do, right? Give me a break. But if your mother was born on July 5th, and your mom is still around, and you're telling me there were no twins in your family?
There are twins in my family, but
Someone lost a twin.
well, I know somebody that was a twin that survived and the other twin died, but they're not family.
Okay. I'm not asking you to go search for something. I'm not looking to do that. And listen to this too. This is really, pay attention. Listen to this too.
Thank you.
Listen to this too. I love animals. I'm a big animal guy. I have dogs all my life, right? I love animals. And then there are people that like horses, people like different kinds of animals, right? Would you know offhand, between right here at this table, if someone was working in a barn, someone was working with a horse, and they died?
Oh, no.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's right.
my uncle.
That's
There were
right.
7 horses.
That's right. I'm not asking if someone owned horses and was hit by a car. Do you know if he was found dead in the barn?
No, he wasn't.
He wasn't working around the big animals or owned the big animals and died? I'm right. I'm not trying to be so right, but I know what I'm seeing. They're showing me. It's like looking at you. I can see it. It's not hard for me to do this. There's a reference to someone who worked with horses. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
I'm not asking to be placed in OTB bed on a Friday after work,
No,
right?
right,
He comes in and he tells me that he died, yes or no?
yes,
Did you go to his funeral?
yes.
Okay, with all so you know him well enough to go to the funeral.
My
There's-
uncle.
Okay, I mean, well, I have uncles out west. If they died, I would send flowers, but I'm not gonna fly out to Colorado. You know, unless I really had a chance to do it. Probably not, you know? Not that I don't love my family, but that's a big effort, and especially if it's a 24-hour funeral, you can't even do it, right? So you make a phone call, you send flowers, right? Make a few phone calls. But if you have an uncle that worked with big animals, I'm not saying he took a ride at the park, he took his kids for a Shetland pony talk, or he went to the track and played a few bets. Did he work with horses? Did he own horses?
He owned horses, his sons worked with horses.
Okay, this is not a court of law. Well, what people do is they want to make it more real than life itself. Because people resist the possibility that this could really be happening. I get it. I do. I deal with this every night. But I'm telling you, there's a reference to a man that died who owned or worked with animals or owned the big horses. And he's making me feel that he was in the stables, he was in the barn, he was coming home, something. And part of his funeral process, part of his memorial stuff around when the funeral was horse-based. And he shows me horseshoes over doorways, things like that. Who owned the horseshoe ring?
Oh, it could have been anyone in his family.
Do they all own horseshoe rings?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not asking. Some people just do it as an investment. They could care less. They're sitting on Park Avenue and they own some thoroughbreds. Doesn't mean they walk around with horseshoe rings. Right? But he did, didn't he? And there's also a twin that has crossed, yes?
Well, I know twins, but not his.
I didn't say his.
I do know.
Does that make sense? And the male figure that's connected to you, I'm taking that to be your dad? Your birth father?
My father's alive.
Who had the adoption very young then? Someone had an adoption in the family or was raised by someone else's family. Oh, yes. See, don't go far. It's only in this little window. I can see it.
Yeah.
It's moving, I can see it. Now I'm going to say something else to you, okay? Are you, just stay with, just
Well,
give
my
me.
mother did live at a cousin's for a while too.
Listen, I'm not talking about visiting on
No,
vacation.
lived there for a while.
No, I'm not talking. If your mother's mom and dad couldn't deal with her, she couldn't deal with them, someone abandoned their child.
That's me. It's my family.
But we have to have all of that with it, though. I don't mean to be
Oh, no,
impolite.
no, no.
You'd have to have the horse guy, the July 5th birth. It'd have to be around the energy field with the person that watched a murder take place right in front of them. Go ahead.
My mother raised my niece after my brother died and her mother abandoned her.
That's it. That's it. That's it. Where does Cookie come in? Who's Cookie, Coco, Connie, like that?
I have none of those.
There is. Who's Connie, Cookie,
Yeah,
Coco,
Cookie.
like that?
Connie.
Connie is whom to you?
It was a nickname.
For?
My father-in-law.
Crossed over? Okay. For a man especially, that's a little different. Maybe, I don't know what the matching name would be. Woman is Conchetta probably, I guess.
Cornelius.
Okay, very good. So if his nickname was Connie and he has crossed, and may I have your name?
Barbara.
Hi, Barbara.
Hello.
Listen to this. Listen to this. Either here. You know, people get dialysis. You know, people have kidney issues.
Yes.
Someone had kidney cancer. They were waiting for a kidney. Someone had a kidney shutdown, but they're making me feel they had acute renal failure. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Who was that to you?
My uncle.
And JJ is whom? Remember I had the JJ over here before? They tell me about Jackie, John,
Jack.
Jim. That's right. And I'm going to say more. This is not, I hope I'm, oh my God, the crap these people show me. No, I'm serious. Do you know someone that was split open from the top of their head down into the middle of their chest? Hit like with a fireman's axe. Something fell off a building, like that.
God.
I'm right. And it feels like a construction accident. Someone wasn't wearing a hard hat. Something. Like someone was crushed, like
Yes.
that. Now listen to me. I didn't hear what you said. Don't tell me. Shh. You said there's some kind of a debris thing. Something is falling. There's firehouse guys. There's cop guys. It
Yeah,
has that
yeah.
vibration to me. And with all respect of making me feel things are falling down, timbers, pilings, something. It has the tragedy of the city connected to it. 9/11 is connected to it. I'm not saying are you sensitive to it or emotional to it. Has someone in your family crossed over in it, the heroes that were in the city?
Right here.
Or with you? Okay, I don't mean to point. With all respect, a close family friend, a husband?
I was a counselor for the city fire department after 9/11.
This is what they're talking about, like this. And they keep telling me about the tragedy of the collapsing, but it's more than that. Someone makes me feel like they mugged somebody, someone attacked someone with a hammer, something. Someone was beaten to death. It doesn't just feel 9/11 to me. Are you sure? I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I really want to be wrong about this. But they're really imposing it on me.
Oh, the twin.
Go back to, I don't mean to be a mess.
Twins.
I didn't just find out.
Okay.
Yeah, he was attacked with a hammer.
There you go.
Most people think of a twin dying in the tummy or right out of the womb. If there is a twin, that happens, I don't mean how I feel
The
like
girl
cracking.
died at birth.
If someone, right, who was hit over the head with a hammer?
The boy twin.
How do you know that?
Because I read the report of his murder in the paper.
So there was a murder.
Yeah.
And there was a murder. You read it, she saw it. Remember I said at the intro, I get murders almost every night. It's here. I have the 9/11 reference, and I have Mr. Cornelius/Connie coming through. I'm going quick as I can, because I could stay on you guys for an hour, but if people would get upset with me, oh, he's not doing enough readings. I'm always caught between being accurate and becoming an entertainer, and I'm not an entertainer. I have no interest in it. The souls are trusting me to deliver a story. And I'm going to say something else. Someone had an arm amputated completely,
Not an arm.
or a leg
A
completely
My
both.
best friend.
Okay, hang in. Feels more family to me. Like, with no disrespect, just hand it over to her quick. People get diabetes, I get it. Some people have leg wounds coming back from Afghanistan, right? These kids coming home, right? You have guys that get hit in a train car, motorcycle crash, cancer to the bone. There's all kinds of ways you can lose your limbs. But there's a reference here to the son that had an amputation.
Yep.
Up to the hip, it almost feels pretty high. It doesn't feel just the top of a toe. This is up high.
Yep.
Does that make sense? And you know if it was on both sides?
It was gonna be.
That's right. And they wind up dying as a result of gangrene or something. But something enters in. Was that Mr. Connie?
No,
How was that to you?
my dad.
Oh, with all respect, I'm sorry. Forgive me, I have to interpret very quickly. But if your dad had an amputation, and his other leg had gone bad as well, and Connie is connected to the family by name, yes?
Yep.
Okay, then this is what this makes sense. Remember before I kept, about people being with people and not being with people. Being with people, not being with people.
Right.
That's happened here too. I get the feeling, he just makes me feel that he wouldn't die in front of you.
Right.
He says, I won't die in front of my daughter. And it's almost like, just please leave for a little bit. His soul was asking you to leave. And you said, I'll be back, Daddy, I'll be back. Tears, 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 of course. And then in that little window of time,
Yep.
he chooses to go. Even in death, your father's protecting his child. How cool is this guy? How cool is that guy?
Very cool.
Very cool. It's a pleasure to meet him. Thank you for listening, guys. I just want to get some water. I'll be right with you.